What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. So we had some NBA free agency moves. The Sixers signed Caleb Martin, 4-year deal for a little over $32 million. Martin's been with Miami the last bunch of years. Had a good year last year, averaged 10 points a game, shot 45% from the field, 34 from three, 77 from the line. He's been known as the guy who's been very good in the playoffs. 2 years ago when Miami had their incredible run from the 8th seed as an 8th seed all the way to the NBA Finals. He had a phenomenal postseason, especially in the Eastern Conference Finals. Or we should have won Eastern Conference Finals MVP over Jimmy Butler. I think he averaged like 26-8 or something like that, or 26-7 or 24-8 or something. He's been known as a good 3-and-D guy, very good player before him. He's also always played very well against the Boston Celtics. Philadelphia's clearly trying to build a team that can compete with the Boston Celtics. They've been very busy signing Paul George for a 4-year max deal. They brought in Andre Drummond as a big man behind Joel Embiid. Also, you lock up Maxey. Now you bring in Caleb Martin. You only guys you lost, Nicholas Batum, and you sent Buddy Hield to Golden State. Caleb Martin is now Philadelphia 76ers. That's a good move for Philly. Miami honestly in a tough spot. I'm not really sure what Miami's trying to do right now. So you extend Bam for 3 years for $166 million. Okay. I look back team. You have Jimmy Butler, who's a really good player, but I just don't. He doesn't have enough help. Bam's an amazing defender, can score a bit. Is a good scorer inside of the three-point arc. Other than that, Tyler Hero is inconsistent. To me, a little bit overrated. Rozier's a pretty good scoring guard. I like Hawkes. He had a very good rookie year. Other than that, Duncan Robinson's a fine catch and shoot guy to have on the bench. Other than that, there isn't a whole lot. You look in the East. Look, the East isn't that good, but it could. I think it'll be better next year. Boston will be Boston. The Knicks should be really good. Look, the Knicks were already really good. Now you lose Hartenstein, but now you bring in Mikal Bridges. That team chemistry is going to be very good. Philly, still don't see them getting out of the second round. They're so well by Joel Embiid. Paul George isn't the greatest player performer ever either, but at least in the regular season, they should be very good. Indiana's still very talented offensively. Milwaukee could be a little better. Maybe if they stay healthy, a 4-year under Doc Rivers, though again, I think they're staring a sucker on eggs in the face, but still. So, you think they're at best, maybe if they edge out Cleveland for the 6th seed? I don't know. See them be any further than that. They're, maybe they get lucky. They can win a playoff series if they get Philly and Philly deals with injuries. That's about as far as I see them going. They just don't know what they're trying to do. The Pat Riley for a couple of years now has basically sat his hands in free agency. I love Pat Riley. He's a legend. Great coach. He's obviously he's run the best operations for Miami Heat for a very long time. Other than obviously he put together LeBron, Bosh, and Wade. He signed Jimmy Butler a bunch of years ago. Other than that, team he's built now just isn't good enough. Besides the one Cinderella run, they haven't done a whole lot. In the 1 year you were in the conference finals 4 years ago, I believe that was. Sacramento Kings get DeMar DeRozan in an assignment trade for 3 years, $76 million. The Spurs and the Bulls, of course, were involved. The Spurs get Harrison Barnes from the Sacramento Kings. The Bulls get from a first-round pick, Chris Duarte, and 2 second-round picks. This is a pretty good move for the Sacramento Kings. DeRozan's a decent player. He averaged 24 points a game and 5 assists last year. Shot 48, 33, 88. He's a really good scorer. He's not a great three-point shooter, though. He shot from three a little better than normally. I think for his career he's around 28 or 29%. Shot 33, which still isn't great, but better than what he shot throughout his career. He's gotten a little better with the three-point shot, but still never been great. But he's a really good scorer. He's not a great defender. Isn't a great three-point shooter, but like I said, he's gotten a little bit better. I think he's a decent piece for the Kings. He basically replaced Davion Mitchell. He's definitely an upgrade over Davion Mitchell. Like Harrison Barnes going to the Spurs. He averaged 12 points a game last year, averaged 47, 38, and 80. He's a very good three-point shooter. He's a good scorer. He's a good defender. He's a solid piece for the Spurs. Now, Chris Durade goes to the Bulls. Durade, he's kind of regressed every single season. He averaged like 13 points a game in his rookie year in Indiana. Then in his second year in Indiana, he lost some playing time. And I think he dipped to like 7 points a game. Only averaged like 3 or 4 points a game last year. I think he was in Sacramento. He goes to a team where he'll get to play a lot more in Chicago. Who's trying to iron out their young core. Trading out exclusive for Josh Giddey. Also, you already have Adesumu there. You already have Kobe White there. You draft Matas Buzuis in the first round. Now you bring in Chris Durade and a couple of picks for DeMar DeRozan. They're trying to trade Zach LaVine, though it's proving very difficult. Trying to move Lonzo Ball. I don't know how they're going to move him. He's got a decent amount of money left. He hasn't played in 3 years. I wonder if they would trade Nikola Vucevic. But they pick up him, which I think that's fine. I mean, they knew he was leaving. The Kings knew he was leaving. So that they weren't going to get as much as they could if they traded him, at the deadline. Which I don't know why they didn't sell all these pieces at the deadline this past year. Apparently, they didn't do that because there was pressure from ownership to compete for a playoff spot this year. They thought if they did that at the deadline, they'd be giving up. I think they're going to get fired. Though they might get fired a year later, so I don't know what that's going to do. Well, the Shorthorns re-signed Miles Bridges, 3 years, $75 million. Look, he's a really good player. He really should be in the NBA. He's not a good human being. Also, the allegations that he had, very disturbing. He sat out that whole year from it. He had the best year of his career last year. Numbers-wise, averaged 21 points, 7 rebounds, shot 46, 34, 82. He's a very good scorer, decent three-point shooter. He's a nice piece to have in your rotation, but I'm not really sure what we're paying him. He's got a criminal record, $25 million a year. He's back in Charlotte. Pistons signed Malik Beasley a year, $6 million. I don't mind this deal. I think it's a pretty good signing. He's a really good shooter. Averaged 11 points a game last year. Shot 41 from 3 and 71% from the line. Look, he's a three-point shooter to have on the bench. Only making $6 million. He will probably be traded at the trade deadline by Detroit Pistons, who obviously are not going to be very good this year. Pistons pick him up a year for $6 million. And the Orlando Magic extend Franz Wagner 5 years, $224 million. That's a lot of money for him. Last year, he averaged 19 and then 5, 48 from the field, 28 from 85 from 3. A little concerning that the three-point percentage was so low. He got better and better his first 2 years. I think he shot 34 and 35, something there, 35 and 36% from 3 his first 2 years. Only 28% last year. He's got to improve his three-point shot. But he's still really young. He's still only, I think, 21, 22, 23 years old, or around there. He's a really good scorer. He can defend. He's got good size. Obviously, going 1 for 15 in Game 7 against Cleveland was concerning. But he's a very good scorer. If he works on a three-point shot, he could be a potential star. So Magic lock him up. The Cleveland Cavaliers hire Johnny Bryant to be Kenny Atkinson's top assistant. He's been the assistant coach for the Knicks for a year before that he was in Utah. He's gotten some head coach interviews this year. He's known to be a very good talent evaluator. He worked with Donovan Mitchell in Utah, and he became very close with Emmanuel quickly with the Knicks. He helps him a lot, so he's been known as a very good talent evaluator. He's worked for a lot of good young guards in his career as an assistant. And he's now going to Cleveland to reunite with Donovan Mitchell. All right, let's go over the All-Star Game rosters for the MLB. The reserves were just named. In the American League, we had these were the pitchers. It's Tyler Anderson, who made it for the second time in his career with the Angels. Corbin Burns, fourth time, first in the American League. Clase, the closer in Cleveland, got his third. Not Garrett Crochet, the White Sox for the first time. Logan Gilbert, the first time All-Star in Seattle. Clay Holmes for the second year with the Yankees. Tanner Hope, maybe the first time in his career with the Boston Red Sox. Seth Lugo had a breakout year with the Kansas City Royals, best year of his career. Made it for the first time. Mason Miller was the representative for the Oakland Athletics. It's his first All-Star game. Cole Reagans, who has continued his breakout from late last year in Kansas City, his first All-Star game. Tarek Skubal for Detroit, and Kirby Yates for the Texas Rangers. Pitchers for the National League were Tyler Glasnow for the Dodgers makes his first All-Star team. Ryan Helsley, the closer for the Cardinals. Jeff Hoffman made it for the Phillies. Shoto Monaga, if I got that wrong, makes it for the first time with the Cubs. To start this year, he was part of a pitcher in baseball. He's kind of tailed off since then, but overall he's had a good year. Ronaldo Lopez made it for the Braves. As did Chris Sale, who's had a complete resurgence in Atlanta. Last year, has a ton of arm problems, has not pitched very well. He's been healthy. He's been the Cy Young candidate yet again. His 8th All-Star game of his career, first time in the National League. Henry Scott was the representative for the Marlins. He makes it for the first time. He's been their closer. Paul Skeene, of course, for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He should start the All-Star game. I know he's only made like 10 starts. He's only got 55 angles out. That dude is amazing. He's got like a 2.1 ERA. He's been amazing. He should start the All-Star game for the National League. For All-Star game, Eurostrom's entertainment people game doesn't actually matter. People want to see that. Make Paul Skeene start the All-Star game. Matt Strahm for the Phillies have their bullpen for the first time. Ranger Suarez made it for the Phillies for the first time. He's actually had a phenomenal year. Having the Cy Young this year. Suarez, who I believe is closing in for San Diego. He made it for the first time. Logan Webb made it for the first time with the Giants, and Zach Wheeler also makes it for the second time. As you can see, there's a lot of first-time All-Stars here. I think it was 32 of them. Here are the batters that made it as reserve. The American League for catchers, it was Salvador Perez, his 9th year All-Star selection, still having a really good year. He might be a future Hall of Famer. The catcher for the National League was Will Smith, made it for the second time. Infielders in the American League were Carlos Correa for the third time, his first time with the Twins. Rafael Devers makes it for the third time with the Red Sox. Guardians first baseman Josh Naylor makes it for the first time. Rays infielder Isaac Perez makes it for the first time. His Rangers second baseman Marcus Semien makes it for the third time. And Bobby Witt Jr., young sensation, only 24 years old for the Kansas City Royals, has had a phenomenal year. He makes it for the first time, first of probably many in his career, and he has just announced he will be in the home run derby. Infielders National League. CJ Abrams makes it for the first time for the Washington Nationals. He's had a really good year. From our top prospect with the Padres, got traded to Washington, the Juan Soto deal, has had for his first full season has been unbelievable. Pete Alonso makes it for the fourth time with the Mets. I have more on that shortly. Luis Arias makes it for the third time with the Padres. Mookie Betts makes it for the 8th time with the Dodgers, so he's hurt, so he probably won't play in it. Enrique De La Cruz, of course, the sensation with the Reds, makes it for the first time. Freddie Freeman makes it for the 8th time with the Dodgers, and Ryan McMahon was the representative for the Colorado Rockies. Outfielders in the American League, it was Jaron Duran, who's had a career year. He's been really good this year. His first nomination from the Red Sox. Riley Green makes it for the first time. Tigers, and Kyle Tucker, third nomination from the Houston Astros. In National League, it was in 4 actually. Teoscar Hernandez, his second. This one with the Dodgers, first time in the National League. Jackson Merrill, the rookie from the Padres, makes it for the first time. Elliot Ramos, a youngster from the Giants, for the first time, and Brian Reynolds just had a really good year, second time with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And from designated hitter from the American League, it was David Fry. Come out of nowhere and had a career year. And then in National League, it was Marcell Ozuna makes it for the first time he's had a very good season. My overall take, it's clear this is a popularity contest on the All-Star game. How is Pete Alonso an All-Star? And I love Pete as a Mets fan. He's not an All-Star by any means. He really has not had that good of a year. Francisco Lindor, the Mets shortstop, and outfielder Brandon Nimmo should definitely made it over him as the Mets representative. Also, why does every team need to have a representative? That is so stupid. That's so dumb. It's fine if like the Oakland Athletics, obviously Mason Miller's had a great year as their closer, right? He deserves to get in. But teams so bad they don't deserve a representative. Like you don't gotta send somebody just because every team needs to be represented. Tanner Scott's had a good year. Does he just deserve to be an All-Star? I don't know. This thing is a popularity contest. This point, it's honestly it's a joke at this point. It's a complete joke. Recap: Money in the Bank from this past weekend. This past Saturday, we started off with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We had it was Jey Uso, Brendan Hayes, Andrade, Chad Gable, LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre picks up the win. First of all, kudos to Jey Uso. It was the funeral of his uncle, Sika Anoa'i, of course, the father of Roman Reigns, and he skipped the funeral to be in the match, and he put on a show. So kudos to him. Also, kudos to Carmelo Hayes. He looked really good in the match. He's so talented. He truly is him. He's going to have a phenomenal career. And the Intercontinental Championship was Sami Zayn against Braun Breaker. Sami Zayn, somewhat surprisingly, retained against Braun Breaker. I thought it was a really good match. A lot of people were upset with it. I have a lot of warts with people who were upset with this PLA. By the way, people were kind of overreacting to a lot of different things. People don't realize that this probably sets up a fatal four between Zayn, Breaker, Sheamus, and Dragunov at SummerSlam. That match will rule. But Sami Zayn retains. Was a really good match. World Heavyweight title, of course, was Damian Priest against Seth Rollins. But at one point, McIntyre runs in the match, makes it a triple threat, similar to what Seth Rollins did at WrestleMania about 10 years ago. Was in that match, he inserted himself into the match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, and then he ended up with the heights of a century and winning the title. And McIntyre looked like he was about to win. Then CM Punk comes in and returns. Last time we saw him was a few weeks ago when McIntyre put him in the hospital in front of his home fans in Chicago, and took his AJ and Larry bracelet. Of course, AJ is AJ Lee. Well, AJ Mendez is the real name. Of course, he's a former Divas champion in WWE. That's his wife, and Larry is his dog. He took the bracelet, and CM Punk attacks Drew McIntyre, and then McIntyre ends up hitting him with, forgot what his finishing move is called, and picks up the win, and he retains the World Heavyweight title. So CM Punk once again cost McIntyre the title. In the post show, he had McIntyre lost his mind, then he shoved that on Pierce. Wade Barrett had to hold him back. Now, Pierce announced that McIntyre is suspended for Monday Raw. Him and Punk both got fined, apparently. Fined, obviously. It's the WWE. But people complain, oh, you wasted money in the bank. I don't get it. So y'all want this perfect storyline, which you're getting in McIntyre and CM Punk, and then they do something to even more further it, and you complain. Like, come on, pick a lane. The way to do it, you're either going to have McIntyre win Money in the Bank, and then have him catch him and have Punk bust him, and Priest win, or you're going to have Punk cost McIntyre in the Money in the Bank match itself, and instead give it to I would say probably LA Knight. You could probably make a argument for Jey Uso or Carmelo Hayes as well. And then Rollins beats Priest. That Priest has to leave with Judgment Day. Maybe Finn Balor costs him that match. So that Priest against Balor at SummerSlam. Remember, whoever wins this match is losing to Gunther at SummerSlam. I think that's a pretty foregone conclusion. Gunther's going to have a pretty long reign. So at least the Royal Rumble, if not WrestleMania. The other world champ, Cody Rhodes, is almost definitely taking into the Royal Rumble, into the WrestleMania. If I had to guess, he's probably going to fight, almost definitely going to fight Sol Sikoa at SummerSlam with Roman Reigns coming back. I could see him being involved in a Survivor Series in the Bloodline Civil War thing. And I think he'll fight The Rock at the Royal Rumble. Then at SummerSlam, I think he will fight. I could see him fighting Randy Orton. You see, Randy's been glaring at that championship belt over the last month or so. So that's what I think is going to happen. So there's no reason to have McIntyre. You want him to be the world champ. Well, he's fighting Punk at SummerSlam. Gunther's going to have a long reign. Like, that wasn't an option. People need to realize that. Yeah, and yet the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. It was Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Lara Valkyrie, Tiffany Stratton, and Naomi and Zoe Stark. Tiffany Stratton wins the women's Money in the Bank. She is Miss Money in the Bank. That was an incredible match. Maybe the best women's Money in the Bank ladder match ever of the 8 years they've been doing. They've had the women for Money in the Bank ladder match. Io Sky looked really good. Chelsea Green looked really good. That spot they did where she fell off the top of the ladder through 2 tables was incredible. Really good match, and the absolute right woman won in Tiffany Stratton. The 6-man tag, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline, of course, Fatu, Sol Sikoa, and Tama Tonga with Tonga Loa at ringside. And the Bloodline wins with Solo pinning Cody Rhodes. That was a great match. I think this PLE deserves a lot more credit than people are giving. I know next day NXT Heatwave was incredible. It was arguably better than Money in the Bank. The Money in the Bank was still really good itself. I love Solo pinning Cody Rhodes to set up their title match beautifully. But Jacob Fatu, that dude's going to be a stud. I know there were a couple of botches in this PLE. I know Zoe started something with Lyra Valkyria. I think that look was more like Lyra's fault. Also, you had the pin between Rollins and Priest didn't kick out. That was glaring. What I think happened, people are saying on social media, which I agree with. If you don't remember, McIntyre came out right after that. I think McIntyre's music was supposed to hit before the ref got to 3, but somebody in the production crew missed the cue, so Priest got confused. Because you could see he was like, oh, on the ground, like, oh no, I screwed up. Or somebody else screwed up, leading to me screwed up. And you saw after the match, he looked like annoyed. Like he was pissed off that, this is live television. And then Tangaloa missed a low blow. That was bad. I mean, he has really been in the ring much. He's still an amateur. But these are human beings. They're going to make mistakes. I know that the professional performers, but they're going to make mistakes. Same thing how like professional athletes make mistakes. Baseball players, will make errors. Basketball players will have bad games. They'll miss shots that they should make. They'll turn them over. Football players will throw interceptions. Receivers drop passes. Hockey players, goalies miss saves they should make. Guys have bad games. Guys, whiff on shots when they have a wide open net. It happens. These guys miss spots from it. It happens. They're human beings. Triple H said at the match, about the Priest Rollins thing, but kudos to Rollins for selling it the same way that he would have, even if Priest were to actually kick out. So I don't know why it's an issue. And of course, John Cena came out, was introduced by Trish Stratus, who of course hosted the event. Because she is from Toronto, of course, arguably the greatest woman wrestler of all time, 7-time world champion. And John Cena came out and said he's announcing his retirement from the WWE. He says he will be on the Raw on Netflix to start, and then the WrestleMania will be his last. He clarified in the post show. So he's the first Raw on Netflix in January. He will be there. Next year's WrestleMania will be his last in-ring WrestleMania. Next year's Money in the Bank will be his last. Next year's Royal Rumble, of course, will happen in February 1st, will be his last. But he's not going to actually retire until December of 2025. So we get a full retirement tour of John Cena. He deserves it. Arguably the greatest of all time. He carried the company for over a decade. Zoom was 22 years. One of the all-time greats. Great human, great performer. I just have posters of him in my wall in my room. Hard for me to believe that he's retiring soon, but his retirement tour is coming. He's going to do 30 to 40 dates a year. Starting in January, because he's still juggling some other things. He's currently filming Peacemaker Season 2. He's doing that right now. I'm not sure if he's got any movies coming up. Obviously, he did Ricky Stick. He did that came out a while ago. I'm not sure what other movies he's doing, but he's currently filming Peacemaker Season 2, which is why he's not been on television for a while. So that's why the 3rd to 4th. But still, I have to get another date. That's probably half the Raws and a bunch of PLAs. So I'm guessing he'll be there for the Royal Rumble. Definitely will be there for WrestleMania. Definitely Money in the Bank. And then, so hopefully he lasts for WrestleMania. A lot of people want to fight Randy Orton. But hopefully Jets does everything that he deserves. CM Punk says he wants to fight him one more time. I'd like to see him fight Randy Orton one more time. Same thing with AJ Styles. And maybe have him fight some people he's never fought before. Maybe LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, Chad Gable. Endless opportunities. So thank you to John Cena. Hopefully your retirement tour is absolutely amazing, as it should be. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. Until next time, so long. Have a great day.